Hi, it's Charlie again. Last time we reviewed Herbie Hancock's Headhunters. Today, we're going to take on the Alan Parsons Project, mainly Tales of Mystery of Imagination by Edgar Allan Poe. In 2007, Universal released the deluxe version of this album, which contained the original mix and also the 1987 remix done by Alan Parsons himself. For me, this was not my first album from Alan Parsons Project. My collection began with their second album, I, Robot, which I had thought was their first album. So without knowing the truth, I bought the 1987 remix of the album thinking that was their next album. I am familiar with some of Poe's work, like The Raven and The Telltale Heart, but I had never heard him put to music like this before. The whole album is devoted to Poe's work. A good friend of mine often called the Alan Parsons Project a poor man's Pink Floyd, and I don't think that's very fair. The two are very, very different. Alan Parsons Project was more pop-oriented than Pink Floyd. As a video producer, I often use Alan Parsons Project instrumental tracks in my video work. I will not spend a whole lot of time comparing the 1987 remix versus the original. Both have their charms, and both are just fine. But I do prefer the 1987 remix because that's the one I heard first. One can look at the 1987 remix the way that George Lucas redid Star Wars. Kind of bad, kind of good. The album starts off with Poe's best-known work, The Raven. Orson Welles provided narration for the original album, but it was never used by Alan Parsons.
For my own part, I have never had a thought which I could not set down in words.
It shows up again in the 1987 remix. Since it is a deluxe edition, it has the usual bonus tracks on both discs, mainly demos and guide vocal medleys. But there are also an interview with Alan Parsons and Eric Wolfson, and also a radio spot done by Orson Welles. The booklet goes into much detail about the production of this album with Alan Parsons and Eric Wolfson. One of the biggest flaws to the Alan Parsons Project is that it had a revolving door of lead singers, and that made some of the songs on many albums very uneven. This is not my favorite Alan Parsons Project album. This is one of the few albums that I have where the artist takes on a well-known literary work. Tales of Mystery and Imagination was Alan Parsons' debut album. It is not his best work, but it will get better on further on into the catalog. I am not certain if this album is still in print, but if you do see it out there, I will pick it up because you get both, the original version and the 1987 remix.